Who's he talking about there?
Schmidt.
Oh.
He was talking about Cam Thomas jumping off sides at the very end of the game, but he compared him to Andre Schmidt, missing the field goal and then coming back, and he's been pretty good since then.
I don't want to cut
That's your bright spot.
There you go. Yeah, well, that's
the
one
guy
of them.
that everyone wanted to cut after week one.
I don't want to cut Cam Thomas over it.
You know what I did notice is that we wondered, what is Myles Garrett going to do after he went and showed all that anger the previous week before the
Against
bye?
The Patriots,
He sat all by himself. Yesterday, nary a concern from Myles. And you know what it kind of seems like? It seems like, all right, we're on a losing team, and this is what it's going to be like the rest of the year. Myles has understanding the rest of the season where this is going. Because he wasn't mad. He didn't blow up. I remember we were texting with staffers like, hey, get ready. We got to get that Myles stuff turned around yesterday.
So he's made it to the final stage of grief?
Yeah.
He's accepted.
He's like, all right, I'm not getting traded. We went through the bye week. It's not getting better. And truth be told, like, I have to say that, I don't know. Does it need to be a show stance that we've seen the end of Dillon Gabriel? Like, does anybody need to see anything else?
No, we're going to see him on Sunday.
But did you notice? I didn't hear anybody.
But you don't need to see him on Sunday.
Hell no, I didn't need to see him yesterday.
Yes,
but
that's the question.
I think it's
conclusion's been drawn,
and this is going to annoy some people that are probably on YouTube Live. But where is the sentiment? Like, if ever there was going to be this rush of the, hey, it's got to be Shedeur. You're not really seeing that. You're not really.
Because they know he ain't going to save this.
Because they know it's not going to get better.
He ain't going to save this.
If
anything, it's going to make him look worse.
If they thought it would provide a spark, like Myles, of all people, he's secure enough. He could have got on the podium yesterday. He's seen practice.
Well, I'm worried.
He knows. Nobody in that building is doing anything to get the word out that, hey, it's time to get to the next guy. They're not saying that because they know it's not going to get any better.
Shedeur would only make it be better because I'd be interested again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. There'd be energy because we'd be excited. Like the tickets right now on one site, I said earlier it was 20. With fees on another site is down to 16.
Oh, well, let me read
get
this.
In this week.
Let me read this to you. Sevi, Twitter reactions, social media reactions brought to you by Scheib and Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store. Sevi says to all of us, I have to go Sunday, shaking my head. Sister bought my dad birthday tickets. Got 12 of us in the lower bowl and a party bus. She paid $150 a ticket. Shaking my head, I told her to wait. Well, at least I got the party bus that we can go to.
Okay, that'll be fun.
If the mayor hadn't shut down the fun on West 6 and our tailgate, I'd just invite Sevi and his whole family to the tailgate. Listen. We can have some fun before the game.
Yeah, but we don't even have the tailgate.
And we struck a deal.
not a deal for our new tailgate.
Will he have some Cokes with me, and can we strike a deal?
We had 2 Cokes, and we struck a deal.
What does he want? What is he like other than Coca-Cola? Can we get him? I'll have any other beverage with you as well. I'll have the Coke with you.
Well, they've got RC over there.
Can we strike a deal?
Here's the thing. They'll have fun. They'll have fun in that party bus because there'll be games on. Remember, this is a 425. So they'll be able to watch real football and some of the other games.
No, they won't. They'll be on a party bus. Does the party bus have TV?
Yeah, they all.
Oh, it does?
It's 2025.
You'll have it on your phones, whatever. You'll be able to watch something and have some fun.
Anything on a party bus.
You'll remember the party bus.
Getting started.
That you'll remember.
Will you?
But to your point, you're right about.
You do it right, you're not going to remember that much.
If they made the move,
if you do it right, you'll do exactly what Ken said.
Make it forgettable.
If they made the move to Shedeur this week, those ticket prices would go from 18 to a lot more. They would grow exponentially, right?
Yeah, they should.
They would. Absolutely, they would. But just getting back to my main point, like, I'm not hearing from anybody that they would expect anything to be different with Shedeur because they've been at practice. They know what the offense is. They know the guys coaching the offense, the play callers. None of it matters.
How much better would it be? Like, I want to illustrate a point here. How much better would it be? And we have Lima Likes coming up at 7:45. How much better would it be if, like, Patrick Mahomes was on this offense? Or Josh Allen? I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
How much better?
Take 2 elite quarterbacks, put either one of them in this offense. How much better
it would be better.
They be?
It would obviously be better.
Okay, I'm just making sure, because it can't just be only a Dillon Gabriel thing, is it?
I saw.
Maybe it's a lot of just a Dillon Gabriel thing.
I think they'd be significantly better with any one of those quarterbacks, right? Look at Look at what who were Josh Allen's receivers over his career, right? He had Stephon Diggs. That's the only guy.
Gabe Davis is all right.
Yeah, but who's Gabe Davis without Josh Allen?
He's got good tight ends, though.
Yeah, but and of course, and they'd be in the playoff hunt because Patrick Mahomes is all-time special.
They would do the little things that help you win games.
Yes, and he's a threat on every third down. They're no threat right now. There's zero threat whatsoever. And the thing is, it's not like Dillon Gabriel or one of the best of all time. It's Dillon Gabriel or the 5th round draft pick that hasn't started a game yet in the league.
I'm sorry. You're right. And I want to see Shedeur, but I think that it's so broken. It's not. He's not going to make it. He's not going to fix it.
I think even Shedeur fans,
he's going to be in a worse spot at the end of it.
Even Shedeur fans, if you're being honest, you don't want him starting this week. You want him starting the following week.
Why?
Against the Raiders. Because you know he's not going to play well against Baltimore in his first game. He's not. Nobody thinks he is.
Fair
Even
enough.
the Shedeur homers who think he's magical and think he is, they deify him as some guy that everybody's sleeping on and the Browns are sabotaging. Even they are like, well, this is not a good spot for our guy. Come on, be honest.
It's not a good spot for him.
And there's probably no great spot.
I'm being honest with you.
You got 3 other quarterback options. Is he your best option? Besides Dillon. There are 3 other quarterback options currently tied to this team.
Well, 2 of them I really don't want to see out there. One I really don't want to see out there. The other one I don't want to see out there. The other one I'd like to see out there, but I got to agree with Lyon. I got to agree with Lyon, but probably not this week.
I didn't ask you who you wanted to see. I said, who's your best option?
Was Albert Breer right at the beginning of the year when he's like, oh, Deshaun Watson's your most talented quarterback? And he was scoffed at.
It's still Joe on the team. If we're talking about talent,
there's so many layers to peel on this, right? We're talking about, they traded away Joe Flacco and now it's Dillon Gabriel. Well, the other thing that we don't even talk about anymore is that they brought Kenny Pickett in to be the starter.
Yeah.
He didn't even make it through the preseason.
No. Let's go to the phone.
So it's the 3rd option that they're already at quarterback this year.
And you had Tyler Huntley who did win a game.
Yes.
Leo in Strongsville. Hello, Leo.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How you doing?
We've been better.
Yeah, me too. So I worked night shift, and I woke up, and I was upset. I was like, my wife didn't wake me up. And I caught the last couple minutes of the game, and I'm glad she didn't wake me up because I saw the offsides at the end, and I was just like, yeah, typical Browns. Then I watched the highlights. I saw the punt return and the kickoff return, and I was like, I'm done. I was like, if they don't put Sanders in, spark this offense, and I think even this week, because we always play the Ravens well, they need to put him in or it's over. I think the season's down the tubes in the first place. Put the kid in. Let's see what he's got because I'm tired of watching little Dillon run around and he can't throw. He's not running. He can't make the throws. I'm sorry. He's not a starting NFL quarterback. Put Sanders in. The kid's going to spark the offense, and I think we can beat the Ravens this week. I disagree with you guys. That's it.
All right, Leo, thank you very much for the call. Tone?
Are we even sure that Dillon Gabriel's a backup? Everybody just said, well, he's going to be a fine backup for... He looks like a guy who's going to be out of the league.
So the problem with that is he's been labeled a career backup, and Ken, you call him a career backup. But when it comes
take
out,
that as a mean thing. Now they don't believe me.
Well, it sounds like you're saying he's going to have a 10-year... He's going to have a Colt McCoy career where he's bouncing around the league and helping teams out. He might have a career backup in the sense that the only thing he can do in his career is be a backup, and the career is only 3 seasons.
Maybe that's possible. Maybe that's it. Maybe I was overvaluing him by the time it's all said and done. But I think what's happening here, this is why I call him a career backup. Because when you have a backup in, they might have a hot hand. Like, do I think this is what's going to happen with Jacoby Brissett in Arizona? More than likely. Like, when you put a backup in, they're good for a few games, and then they start to get figured out. And the terminal mistakes that they make that they can't really get over, they just rear their ugly head. Because good defenses, you're eventually going to run into a good defense that's going to be able to exacerbate those problems. That's what's going on with Dillon Gabriel. Now he's just terrified to be out there. So you had the situation against Minnesota. I mean, let me go down it real quick. In fairness to Dillon Gabriel here, don't tell me I never tried to be fair. In fairness to him, the game against Minnesota, okay, I didn't write hope after that game. Some of you did. That was nuts. But in the Vikings game, was that or was that not his best performance? Because they hadn't seen him, so it was. And then you have the Pittsburgh game, which was not good. You have the Miami game, he didn't need to be good, and their defense just went out there and won it. See, in his usual career, you're hoping your starter is coming back by now. That's what you're hoping. That's how his career is going to go. Because there it's like, all right, we got away with one. Miami's terrible. Our defense was able to get to Tua Tagovailoa, and we won that football game. And then you got to go to New England. Okay, well, that defense isn't terrible. And that offense is obviously good. And that's a well-coached football team. And he was running for his life, and he was terrified. And then we wanted to hear, and I listened to Coach Lance. I totally agree. I totally saw his point. I could see his point, and by the end of it, I agreed with him. It's like, okay, maybe you want to see him how he responds to bad football. Some guys have 2 weeks to stew about something, and then they go out, they play better. Except he can't do that because he's a career backup. So he goes out there and he plays worse. Because there was plenty of times where he just ran himself into problems yesterday. And I know all you guys are taking your screenshots and putting all your screenshots out there. Every single one of you are right to do it. Enjoy the retweets and likes. Because you're all right to do it. He's not looking down the field. You could say he can't look down the field. I thought they tried to move the pocket a little bit. They started him out from gun. He didn't take 5-step drops from shotgun. That's one of the differences I think that Tommy Rees actually tried to do. A lot of shotgun in that football game, and they tried to give him some more space to see the field.
In drive 2, when they scored, they did that.
Yeah.
When else did they do that?
Oh, no, I wrote
in
it down
the
a bunch.
scripted drive.
No.
Who scripted the drive, Ken?
I
know one guy who really scripts drives well that didn't call plays yesterday.
No.
Were those Tommy Rees's scripted drives or not?
No. I go back. There was a lot of gun here from later on in the game.
No, I'm
thought
talking
they tried
about
to open
moving
him
the
up.
pocket.
Oh, I thought you meant gun.
Moving the pocket. That's the only way that he can see downfield.
I thought they tried to move the pocket. He just ran himself into problems because he was terrified. When the Malachi Corley pass where I lost my mind, they moved and he just threw it 8 feet over his head because he ain't that good. And he's hurrying passes because he knows he's got a very short time to throw. And so he hurries passes. He doesn't stand in there. He doesn't deliver. And then the only redeeming quality it has is he taps himself on the chest and goes, my fault. Yeah, man, we know. We got it. We know it's your fault. But it's not your fault that you were drafted. It's not your fault that you were started this soon. It's not your fault for a lot of the other things. But yeah, those passes, those terrible passes are your fault. Well, he completed one to Harold Fannin. Okay, there was one nice pass to Harold Fannin. The touchdown pass from Jerry Jeudy, I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm being dead ass serious.
I was going to ask about it.
I was shocked that Jerry Jeudy caught that ball. That ball went up, and I was expecting the worst. I was hoping for an incompletion. That ball went up, and it stayed up there forever. As Siciliano described it in New England, it was a hot air balloon ball.
It really was.
And that thing came down in his hands, and I was shocked.
It was like a Hail Mary. That thing was suspended in animation.
And Jeudy had to come back to it.
Oh, of course he did.
That was if we're assigning percentage of who made that play, Jerry Judy's like 85-90% that play.
Ed and Steve Sable didn't slow down film to keep a ball up in the air that long. That's how long that damn ball was.
I got the revolutions.
That damn ball.
The floating Zeppelin.
Unbelievable.
I told you before the show, I said,
and it just kept going.
I asked Owen, I said, have you ever, we're on the phone, I go, guys, have you ever played the game golf on the NES, the original? And every time they hit a drive, it's
it just kept going.
That's it. That's what that was.
You should have brought your slide whistles.
And when people say, well, you're going to tear down his touchdown, I haven't looked at the internet yet. When people say, well, you're going to tear down his touchdown passes, yeah, because they're in evaluation mode. So, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Guys, that sucked. That was not a good pass. We can be honest.
Yeah,
come on.
I'm being honest. I don't disagree with you. I'm not fighting you on it. Shedeur ain't going to throw a pass like that. Record that, because in case he does later on.
He does not throw like that.
I'm just saying it can't be that bad.
And that's the good. That's on the good tape this week.
So they're going to start him.
That's the good tape.
And they're going to start. Dillon Gabriel on Sunday, and I expect more of the same. Because if the Jets are bringing you to justice,
you got to get the ones out of bounds too. Those are good.
The Jets are bringing you to justice. I imagine the Ravens will.
Poll is open right now. We have the poll. Was that a good call or a bad call? We'll get to what it means for Mendoza, Sports Talk on the Fan, presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS. And Paramount Plus, watch your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. So that was the game of the year in college football. And I tweeted immediately after it, and I said, that's number one overall. That's a number one overall pick drive. And got a ton of backlash. A lot of it was just Ohio State fans acting like, what about our quarterback? But obviously,
he might be a number one overall pick eligible in 2027.
Yeah, he is not eligible to be drafted this year, but Mendoza is. Now, also, on the same day, we saw Dante Moore in some inclement weather, right? And against Iowa. And then also Simpson for Alabama. He had some nice moments, some real big-time NFL throws in their game. So, Kenny, when you saw that, and we'll be getting back to the Browns, but this all comes back to the Browns.
Oh, it always comes back to the Browns.
Were you of the ilk that what rough game, he's not as good as everybody thinks he is?
Mendoza?
I saw a lot of that. Or were you of, man, a guy that can drive down the field like that? I don't care that Penn State's lost, 6 in a row or whatever.
There's still something for a guy. Like, if that's all he did was have bad days and do, no. But to have a bad day on the road, I mean, it's still loud. They still want to win that game.
Oh, that place was deafening.
I thought it was going to be the cathartic win that Penn State fans have been wanting since this whole nastiness started, for the love of God. I think it was their first home game since they fired James Franklin. I thought for sure that Penn State was going to get that win. It's like, well, let's see what this kid's got. And to be able to throw your team on your back and go down there and win and have that last-minute drive, I think that matters. That should certainly matter. You got some guts to be able to do it, fine. That was one of my problems I had with some other quarterbacks. I mean, you look at some of these guys that were number one overall or top 5 guys, a lot of them faced very, very little adversity in college. And when they did, they struggled mightily, and they just lost those games. And for a guy like him, yeah, it can't all just be sunshine and roses all year long. Now, if we're making a comparison to Julian Sayin, I'll say for Julian Sayin's sake is that his time is coming probably in the Michigan game and in the Indiana game in the Big Ten Championship. You're right. I didn't think it needed to become a Julian Sayin versus Fernando Mendoza Heisman thing. I just think I'm looking at it as a Browns fan going, all right, who's the guy that I can possibly get? Because you want him to be good, but as you're drafting right now, you don't know if you want him to be that good. Because right now you're looking at Mendoza, Moore, Ty Simpson, depending on what Lenora Sellers wants to do. God, I hope he goes back. I hope he hits the transfer portal and gets the hell out of there. You're looking at those 4 guys. And I think that if it was the one silver lining I took right after the game, I'm not lying, is that I don't want him to lose, and I'll never celebrate the Browns losing. But I'd be lying to you guys if I didn't sit there and go, oh, yeah, all right. I like Fernando Mendoza.
I just love Kenny.
I like seeing some of the highlights I saw, even Dante Moore and Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson was great the other night.
So
that's tough defense still.
I just love how people discounted, well, he wasn't great all game, even though there were plenty of good throws. He just didn't have as many of them.
Quarterback's great all game.
It was a rough game. Guys have rough games. That doesn't disqualify them from being good in the NFL.
Not every great quarterback's great all game, I should say.
Yeah.
I'm freezing. I'm putting on a hoodie.
So you understand, there were plenty of NFL scouts at that game, too. It said Jordan Reed said that the Jets GM was there along with Rick Spielman and said a heavy contingent from the team in attendance for that game. Obviously, NFL scouts are watching these games, whether or not Penn State lost 6 in a row or not. They're paying attention to it. There were scouts. I got Jordan Reed just texted me. He said there were scouts from the Browns. He couldn't tell me specifically who were there. But
Jordan Reed just texted you?
Yeah, because I want to know. I just want to know because obviously it's always a bigger deal to fans when the head honcho of the organization is there. But they have scouts, they're regional scouts. They go to all these games. That's
Jordan
their
Reed
job.
just texted you?
Yeah.
Well, ask him to come on this week.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
If he's willing to text you, just have him on. We ain't going anywhere except for the draft.
But in essence, I had people saying, well, he's not generational. There's no generational in this draft. And I'm like, man, that's not how the draft works. It just isn't. It's just
Zach
not
Jackson
Andrew
just
Luck.
texted you too, and now I got to put my phone away.
It's not Andrew Luck. You're not waiting on Andrew Luck every single draft or Trevor Lawrence at the time.
Yeah.
People, I thought we got smarter about how this works. The question is, Is that guy a first-round grade, 100%? Mm-hmm. Is he worthy of number 1 overall? I mean, he's definitely in the running. He absolutely is in the running.
What position does he play?
Quarterback.
So then he's in the running for number 1 overall.
So, yeah, because he had some bad moments against Penn State, and because Ohio State dominated Penn State, that means what? The Browns shouldn't take him now? I have no idea how that's the logical conclusion.
Just get comfortable with one of them. Just get comfortable with one of them and hope that it turns. Because one of them's bound to be really good, one of them's bound to be garbage, and maybe the other one will be okay. I don't know. I hope you get one of the good ones. I hope you get one of the good ones. Because right now, I mean, if it were to come down to, I don't want to belabor this, because I wanted to bring up another point I wanted to get into, but it comes down to Mendoza, Simpson, or Moore. You know, those 3 guys, like right off the tippy top, I think Ryan's got them going 1, 2, 3 in the draft. And if it were to come down to one of those guys, I think you got to find a way to be comfortable with each one of them, because I think that there's so much more that we have to worry about that we never really had to worry about when it came to quarterbacks, because they're all so different from where they used to be. It used to be, just get me a 6'5" guy who could stand there and let it rip, let's go. Now it's different. And I think there's much more of the emotional part to it, the intelligence of breaking down a defense to it, things that we did not see in the past. Speaking of breaking down defenses, it was the biggest story we had last week. Was Tommy Rees taking over the play calling? Did it even matter in the end? Did you notice much of a difference in the very end?
Just the only thing I noticed was they took that shot that ended up being a pass interference.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't seen Dillon take those shots, much of those at all. I'm sure there have been some, but to aggressively go vertical, but no, I didn't really see that much of a difference, I'll be honest.
I didn't see much of a difference. I saw gun. I saw a lot more shotgun. I saw what I think is a bit more moving of the pocket. Now, I think that he himself, Dillon Gabriel, limited that to some degree. I think I saw some bit of a difference. But I think what it proved, and why I say it doesn't matter, is what it proved is that it ain't just all. He's the head coach of the football team, so there's a problem with Kevin Stefanski. Certainly, you're 5-21 over the last couple of years. It's bad, and the clock's running, guys. But it's not just that; it's that you can do a lot of different people to be in charge of this offense. I think you're just going to get more of the same. The only thing that I thought was markedly different was the beginning drive, the first drive, which Adam Archuleta called the worst opening drive he's ever seen. That was a quote. But on the second drive, he ended up, and you wonder how much of that more was scripted, probably more of it, and they ended up scoring a touchdown on that one. So I thought, again, we might be okay considering the Jets were garbage. And then, of course, you give up a touchdown right after on a kick return. Then you give up a punt return touchdown. You got their emotions into it. You're reeling. They're an emotional football team, and you end up being a mess. That's why, there's so many more bigger problems with this team than just, hey, we lost on a Sunday. There's so many more problems. And when you have so many more problems with it, you don't even know where to begin. The only thing you can do is go back to the beginning and go back to the people in charge. That's it. That's it. Like yesterday, I came off this morning. You weren't that upset. I was demoralized. I was upset with what had happened. I was upset with my feeling towards it. And I got to be honest with you guys. I don't know how many more opportunities I'm going to have to be upset before it is what it is. Before it just washes over. I had a meltdown yesterday in the second quarter on the missed screen to Malachi Corley, and then the rest just kind of washed over me. My son was losing his mind. He got mad. But again, there's rhyme and reason to everything. I go, you let him in this football game, your offense is not good enough to come back. So the special teams touchdowns, if you had Joe Flacco out there, you could overcome that. Because he can push the ball down the field and at least make it somewhat possible for you to run the football. You don't have that with this guy. You don't have that. He runs himself into sacks. He runs himself into trouble.
He got sacked
guys that are open,
right before the end of the first half. He almost took him out of the field goal situation.
I mean, you're seeing Jerry Jeudy upset.
That was a brain-dead move. He got bailed out.
And he's supposed to be a supercomputer, as they said. It's stupid. And that's one of the problems that I have. I'm sick and tired of having to use this team's own words against them. Andrew Barry, we like to zig when other teams zag. Maybe you should zag. Seems that a lot of good teams are zagging. Yeah. Maybe you should zag instead of zigging. Maybe that would be better for you. Oh, he's a supercomputer. Okay. Yeah, I've heard that before. And here we are. It's terrible. He's afraid to throw the football down the field. He's afraid to conduct the offense. He's afraid to be out there, for crying out loud. Well, we'll march him out there again. We will march him out there again. Because now I've turned it, and you've noticed this, and I've been more and more this way. I've been more protectionist over Shedeur Sanders. Because I'm like, I want him to have a fair shot. This isn't a fair shot. There's got to be some sort of, I don't believe that he's just a fifth round, not good quarterback. I don't believe maybe he's as good as the second coming, the way that some people on the internet are making him out to be. I think the truth's somewhere in the middle. And if the truth's probably somewhere in the middle, it means that you're not going to be able to overcome much of this.